In the past couple of weeks, we talked about movies that scare me, ones that I hate, and, well, just random movies that made no sense, but anyway. So I've decided to do a review on a movie that I actually enjoy thoroughly. One of my favorite movies of all time is Re Animator. So let's check it out. Re Animator starts off with some spooky German hospital, and since I'm English, I can't be stuffed to try and pronounce it. So we see Mr. Richie who's trying to hunt down the lady from the cafeteria because someone ate his pudding. The lady tries to blame some innocent doctor in this room over here, so they try and call out to him, but he doesn't answer. We can only hear groaning and moaning. Maybe the pudding is just so damn delicious.
Herr Doctor!
The two police officers then assault the door and break a window just to try and get in. And then they see the doctor, who is having the worst allergic reaction to the pudding ever. And what the hell is this guy doing? The poor doctor then dies of a nut allergy, and it's pretty brutal. And then in a very confusing twist, this is said.
You killed him.
No, I did not. I gave him life.
Hands down, one of my favorite movie openings of all time. It had everything: a gory death, you got to see the evil character, it was funny, and, well, I just really enjoyed it. It was suspenseful and dark. I mean, it's up there with other openings I really like Bambi or Saw. Bambi. Then the opening credits appear, and oh my god, it is pretty bloody awesome. It makes me feel like I'm watching some kind of sciencey movie. It's just cool. The music is phenomenal and catchy as all hell, and I can't play it here because YouTube will kill me, but still, you just gotta check it out. We are then taken to an English hospital, and yes, I can pronounce it, Arkham, you know, from Batman. We then see a wannabe doctor who's trying to revive some dying lady. She doesn't make it, and it really hits him hard. If only somewhere out there some crazy scientist was trying to make some sort of serum that brings people back from the dead. That would make him feel a lot better. So then Mr. Dr. House over here has to take the body and take it to the morgue. The security guard who's looking after the morgue seems to know this guy really well. Maybe he just goes there too often. That's rather concerning.
Nobody wants in, and ain't nobody getting out.
Yeah.
It's just like back in school, where if there was one person you just don't want to know who you are, it will be the principal. In this situation right here, if you're a doctor, there's one person you don't want to know. It is the guy who guards the door for the morgue. Because if you go in there too often, what does that say about your character? This guy right here, he's pretty bloody stupid. It is revealed in this room that Mr. Doctor is afraid of death. I mean, just look at him, he's sweating like crazy. And don't forget, a morgue is meant to be below freezing, so yeah, he's rather shaky. Mr. Steal Your Taxes then makes his film debut, and he brings along the crazy guy from earlier who supposedly gave the doctor life. They then start arguing about whose dick is longer, and it got kind of gross, so I just kind of left this scene.
Interesting. Though derivative of Dr. Gruber's.
Megan and I would love it if you came.
Dr. House then feels qualified to ask Mr. Steal Your Taxes for some kind of letter of recommendation for some kind of scholarship. But we have to wait and see if he actually gets that, because don't forget, there's a movie plot to follow. Dr. House, who I guess we can now start calling Dan, tries to find a roommate because he needs some money, because he just keeps killing people in the hospital room and he can't pay his bills because, you know, his girlfriend doesn't pay for jack shit. Dan and his girlfriend then have coitus, because you just gotta do that in a horror movie, and Herbert the pervert shows up because he wants in some of that action.
Can I help you? You're here about the apartment.
Yes.
Herbert the pervert then moves into the house, and Blondie doesn't really like him because he gives her the creeps. But at the price of $1, he has officially moved in. Toss a coin to our doctor, a friend of humanity, because he kills them. Woohoo! Where did it go? Damn, lost $1. The next day, Herbert West and Dan are back in school, and I cannot show this on YouTube. YouTube will kill me. The teacher is trying to demonstrate what it is that the students are missing. A brain. And this doesn't go down too well. I mean, poor Herbert breaks his woody. The teacher then cuts the class short, and then the student Mr. West tries to pick a fight. No, he just walks away. I was gonna say he's gonna pick a fight with the teacher, but he chickened out. And then we cut to a dinner scene. The dinner is with Mr. Steal Your Taxes, Evil Doctor Dude and Blonde Girl from before. And I guess this doctor has the hots for the girl because he just goes all crazy about her. And this is kind of spooky.
Meg has matured a great deal in the past few years, but she's still young and impressionable. Your beautiful, young, loving daughter.
I don't know about you guys, but this guy gives me the creeps. I mean, I noticed his van down the back, pedomobile, but honestly, I didn't know up until now that he was a pedophile. We then cut to Blondie and Dr. Dan, who were now actually studying instead of doing other high school activities, and they realize that their cat is missing. Blondie then makes her way into Herbert's room where the cat is found dead in his fridge. Herbert then shows up and he's really upset. Not because of the dead cat, but because the girl was in his room, and this just pisses him off. He doesn't show any remorse for the poor dead cat, and instead he just tries to cover his own ass.
What happened? It was dead when I found it. It knocked the garbage over and it got its head stuck in a jar. You weren't home, so I put it in there. I certainly didn't think you'd want to find it like that. I did not want to stink the place up. I was going to show you.
You couldn't call or write a note.
I was busy pushing bodies around, as you well know. And what would a note say, Dan? Cat dead, details later. I knew you were fond of it.
You killed him. I know you did. He killed him.
Besides, I do not like people in my room. All right.
If it was up to me, I would just pull a Come Fly With Me, you know, that TV show, and just bailed out on them. Too bad I'm too smart for this dude. Later that night, some crazy spooky noises start to be heard and it scares poor Dr. Dan. He goes off to investigate because something just isn't right. Dan then trips over something and falls down the stairs down to the basement, and it's revealed that this is where the mysterious noise was coming from. Herbert's West Siamese twin tries to grow out of his neck, and it's up to Dan to try and beat it off. It was then revealed that it was not in fact a Siamese twin, but it was actually the cat. Yeah, the same dead cat that was dead in the fridge just moments earlier. Somehow it came back from the dead and tried to take revenge on Herbert the pervert. Herbert West then reveals his deep dark secret. It turns out he's a mad scientist who's created this kind of serum that can bring back things from the dead. He then uses it once again on the cat, and yeah, I can't show this because it's kind of sad and gruesome. I just know that the cat does come back from the dead, but with a kind of creepy side effect. It's a zombie. So it's kind of like Pet Sematary, which is kind of like Dawn of the Dead, which is kind of like Nerve Zombies 5. Which is kind of like it's totally going to happen. Dan, who is a real professional at letting his patients die, agrees to take Mr. West to the morgue where they can test out the serum on some actual dead humans. Yeah, good luck getting to the morgue. Don't forget there's a security guard. How the heck are you going to get past that security guard? Oh, you just made Herbert play dead. Fucking genius. They find a body that isn't too torn up because you don't want to bring someone back from the dead if they're missing an arm or something. And there are some real shocking special effects here that, yeah, of course I can't show here, but it's bloody gruesome. So it turns out that the serum does indeed bring back things from the dead, but at the side effect that it turns them into living, breathing zombies, and all they want to do is Hulk smash everything. Mr. Steal Your Taxes then makes the big mistake of entering the morgue, and it's probably a good time to mention that he is actually the father of the blonde girl. Why is this important? Because he dies. So they then decide to try and use the serum on him because, well, poor Dr. Dan can't let his girlfriend's dad die. So yeah, just like before, it worked, but he is a zombie. The father is then put in like a mental asylum, and the poor girl has no idea what's got into him, and is left to wonder, why has my father gone all crazy? Herbert then goes on down to his man cave and tries to experiment a bit more on his serum. But of course, creepy pervert doctor comes in and he wants answers. Wes feels like it's necessary to kill the doctor, so I'll just let him, and then he brings him back from the dead with the serum. Wes actually beheaded the doctor, so he gives some of the serum to the head and some to the rest of the body. And to this guy, it somehow works a bit better than previous victims. He can actually talk and he seems to know what he's doing. So basically what happens is Herbert puts some serum in the head and some in the body. So now evil doctor guy can control his body with his mind. And that, my friends, is how you manage to suck your own dick. In a Hollywood movie cliche, the villain decides to let the hero live. All he does is knock him out. He doesn't even have the common courtesy to clean up after himself. Dan comes home and gets an absolute earful from Herbert, who got nothing but complaining to say. So the two decide to go on out there and find the evil pervert doctor. Right after they have some Netflix and chill time, you see. Dan then goes out to find the girl and they meet up and they are attacked by the Evil Dead. Oh no, it's just the Mr. Steal Your Taxes guy who just wants to kidnap the girl, I guess. Dr. West then makes his way to Bowser's castle where he finds the kidnapped girl. It is here revealed that the evil doctor guy can now control the remaining zombies. And this just turns into an absolute bloodbath. I can't show any of it unfortunately, but it's bloody gruesome. All kidding aside, this scene, this entire sequence is just bloody phenomenal. The entire effects is practical. It looks bloody gruesome, it looks bloody. It's just awesome. I love practical, gory effects, and this scene is just full of them. Herbert West then sacrifices himself to let Dan and the girl free. With his last fighting strength, West throws the bag containing all the information about how to make the serum, just in the hopes that maybe one day it will actually work properly. Dan and the girl make their way to an elevator, and in all seriousness, this scene is rather stupid. So here's the girl getting strangled, and Dan just can't seem to break the dude's grip. So what he does is he tries to, well, give him a little tingle on the head, and then he runs off to grab a fire axe, just leaving the girl to get strangled. Avoiding all safety procedures, he just grabs the axe by smashing the glass and then runs right back to the girl. But instead of axing the guy then and there, he tries to get in the elevator and it just slows down and makes him lose time. So he axes the dude and unfortunately the girl does not make it. She got strangled to death. He then takes the girl upstairs where he tries to give her CPR, and just like the beginning of the film, the poor patient just doesn't make it. Absolutely devastated, he then decides to grab the serum because don't forget he got the bag, and then he injects the girl with the serum, and that's how the movie ends, with a horrifying scream. And that, my friends, is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It's just something new. We don't really see a crazy scientist who tries to make something to do good for the world, but it turns out to be an absolute shit show. I mean, in all seriousness, all that West wants to do is make a serum that brings back things from the dead, but it just doesn't work properly. There are two other sequels. There is Bride of Re Animator, you know, kind of like Bride of Frankenstein, and shit, what's the other one called? Beyond Re Animator, which was made quite recently too. Both of them are really good. There were rumors that they were going to make a fourth one, but that one just, well, all it is now is rumors and it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Now there's talks of them making a remake, and honestly, it's probably all they can do. The main character, Jeffrey Holmes, is just too old, so I don't think he can do it anymore. And you just can't pull off that classic Herbert West look. So instead of making a movie, why not make a TV show? I think it would work out pretty well. I mean, they did it with, what's his freaking face? Hannibal Lecter. I'm sure they could make a TV show of Re Animator. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'm going to go out there and make my own zombie movie. It's about bloody time, don't you think?